Good evening, everyone. It's Mick Ruby. A little bit of a reflection. Just came up from my routine walk in the evening. Done my 15,000 steps for the day, and nothing really to talk about. There's nothing really springing out in the ether. It's just the anxious nervousness, what's going around the club. The protest is looming. 1958 is shaping for something big. Calling everyone to go on the 15th for the protest to wear black. So Men in Black, that's what we are right now. So I did a video 2 months ago where I said rest in peace Manchester United because the financials are not looking good. It is, in my opinion, kind of a little bit of a doomsday, isn't it? Like, to be a Man United fan. I don't see any other Premier League club downsizing, cutting down costs and putting it on fans to pay up. So this is kind of 1 year under the Ineos regime together with Glazers, and it's too many chefs in the kitchen cooking at the moment, and nobody really knows how to make that perfect stew. And that's how it feels like. On the other hand, the football is not looking great either. The positioning in the table is probably the worst we've seen in Manchester United's Premier League history. So it's pretty much, bust, do a bust on Thursday, Real Sociedad. And don't feel really confident regarding this game. I mean, you look at Real Sociedad, they're sitting 9th in the league in La Liga, but this is Europa League, and this is a bogey team in Europa League. Real Sociedad, we all seen it, we all know it. And if you look at our current team, we don't lacking confidence. Of course, the only positive here is Patrick Dorgo coming back into the fray. He's available for selection, but where do we go from there? We're not allowed to select Cheeto Obi Martin because he's not registered. So I don't know. Rasmus Højlund needs to step up. Rasmus Højlund needs to start scoring goals. It's now or never, peeps. I feel a bit like a deflated balloon. Somebody just inflated that balloon with the takeover with Ineos and doing a lot of promising, recruiting best-in-class people. And now somebody put that needle in that balloon. So we're a little bit deflated at the moment, but we got to see a little bit of positivity in the overall grand scheme of things. Yeah. As what we said, this season is a write-off. You can just write it off. And some of you calling already for Amorim's head, sack him. Fair enough. That's your call. It's not my call because I'm more rational. I'm more thinking, outside the box to say, look, it ain't his fault. He never had a proper, transfer window, full transfer window. He's trying to implement the style and calling out players that have no legs or no ability or no desire to run, And the difference is between, if you look at Newcastle, has a low wage bill. These players, they do run because at the end of the day, they put incentives, bonuses. It's so much easier to motivate. But if you look at our squad, overinflated, overpaid, can't be asked to run. What should I do that for? I'm already getting paid good weekly wages. And that has been the problem with United for years and years and years. Inflated the wage bill. We have players that can't be asked. They've been seeing each manager out the door because guess what? They're on a 3, 4 years, 5 years contract and getting renewed while they can see another manager out the door, but not this time. My thought process goes as following, let's do one thing that we haven't done before. We've been crying out for a sort of a proper rebuild, and this is a proper club rebuild. We know that we can't fix the financial situations because that's not our problem. We as fans, we just want to see good football, but we also want to see consistency. Yeah. If you want to have the manager out the door, there's no other manager that can fix this until the structure is fixed. This is the foundation what the Ineos is trying to do. I understand the cost cutting is pissing us off. The ticketing prices, the hikes, pissing us off. But at the end of the day, this is Manchester United on a survival mode, right? I love my club and I want us to be successful. And right now I feel doubts. I feel that I want to vomit. My head is spinning. I can't make heads or tails what's going on at the moment with this club, with this squad. And I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. And I speak for many of you probably. They're also tired. So my way of just, using this platform as a therapy is pretty much Yeah, go make some movements. Do 10,000 steps a day. Go to the gym, ease on steam, hit the punching bag if you need to do boxing, or get your aggressions out, because this team and this club ain't going to do you any good in terms of positivity. You got to create it yourself. If you know, you know. But yeah, there's nothing more to say. Like, you know, I'm absolutely deflated, and I can't I can't lie. Like, you know, I'm looking forward at least for the Europa League game against Real Sociedad to see if there will be any changes, right? Um, I can't see any patterns of play under Amorim. This stage is pretty much survival football. Do not concede, play compact. We don't even do pressing. We can't even do counter-attacking anymore, and we don't even provide any crosses into the box to Højlund to score. I was counting Dalot's crosses, and I was counting everyone's crosses. There's nothing coming in to the box for Rasmus. And yeah, you know, I was a little bit excited to see Cheeto be Martin, a fresh 17-year-old. But hey, I don't want to burn him out. Like, you know, Cheeto B. Martin created his own chances the way Rasmus used to do. And we can argue to we blue in the face that, you know, what about Rasmus? What about this? What about that? But simple fact is that we don't play the ball through the channel. We don't put crosses into the box. We don't play wide players or wing players that facilitates the importance of Ruben Amorim's system. So in summary, what I have to say here is that we have to give Amorim the benefit of the doubt to the summer. See what Ineos can do. See if they can generate some funds for the transfer window, because they simply have to. It's either, like, you know, do or die. If you don't have money to back Amorim in the summer window, then Amorim should just resign and walk away. He should, because that is a sign that a club is capitulating, and a sign that potentially come November, they're putting the whole club up for sale. And this could be something that we fans been dreaming of, to finally get rid of the Glazers and the Ineos regime. The summer window was not about spending on players. I mean, they did spend players on Erik Ten Hag, but it was the overall spending on the best in class footballing operation people. We got Omar Barada in, we got Dan Ashwood in that they sacked, Jason Wilcox, and now the announcement of Christopher Vevell, which is the head of recruitment. So that is the full cavalry assembled in terms of footballing operations. So it is so important for Christopher Vevell now to go in early and scout out potentially cheap, high potentials that can hit the ground running. You know, you can just look around in South America, the Brighton model. You can look at the Premier League, but if you look at the Premier League, you're paying the Premier League tax. But one position that you absolutely cannot go and get an up and coming, you know, talent is the striker position, the number 9. We tried it with Højlund. Xerxes is not a number 9. We can't simply just go and look at Ipswich and say, hey, let's get Liam Delap, because that doesn't work. And I'll tell you why. You know, whoever is playing Ipswich, they don't really defend in a compact manner, because they don't see Ipswich as a threat. And therefore, it's kind of an open smorgasbord for Liam Delap to have space. But as soon as if you play for Man United, you know, by default, by automatic, they shut down the defense. They play a very narrow. They put up a brick wall against Man United, and that's always been the case. So that's why we're also struggling, because we don't have any creativity to penetrate that whatsoever. So for me, it is crystal clear that you need somebody like a Cavani that knows the movements, or a Zlatan, an experienced one that is already, you know, a fox in the box, that is clever, that can outsmart, that can do runs, that could, you know, that you can put the balls in the channel and he will do a dummy or shimmy, or, like, you know, just we need an experienced striker. So it's a little bit uncertain at the moment, because reports, including Fabrizio Romano, was saying that, you know, the Osimhen story is just a gaslight story. That there's no concrete evidence the United has ever spoken to him or his camp, or there's anything being agreed. And matter of fact, Arsenal is looking at him, Chelsea might looking at him. So we see. But it's down to Ineos to splash the cash, and If there is some deals, even smokescreen saying that Quenda deal is done, and that's good because we need a right wing back, 100%. We do. We need a little bit balance, and I'm also excited to see what youth can come up and step up to the first team, especially in the midfield as well. Aiden Heaven looks like he is really mint in a certain ways. Dorgo is mint as well. You know, we've seen glimpses of Cheetah Obi as well. But what about the rest, right? What about Jack Fletcher? What about, there's so many good academy players, right? So there's certain ways that Man United can sort of save and potentially just get 3 signings in the summer and still be competitive. But this season alone, it is a trial and error. This is just, I give it a pass. Like, I decided this is Ineos fucking it up by sacking Ten Hag and appointment of Ruben Amorim 9 games into the Premier League season, and he's been suffering and he looks absolutely swallowed up. You know? So he needs a break, and everyone needs a reset in the summer. But what is the club doing? Do they give us a break? No, absolutely not. For once and for all, we have a summer without any European football or World Cup football. It's a perfect opportunity to sort of have a proper preseason. But no, Man United decided we are stint, we are broke. So therefore, straight after the Premier League, they're going for a mini tour in Southeast Asia, Asia and Hong Kong. And that will generate about £9 million. And straight directly after, they go on another US tour, because that's where their money is. It's a little bit shambolic as it is, but hey, we're Man United fans. We need to stick together. And tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time, I'll be hosting on Mufc RealistTV. 1958 is coming to talk to you about the protest. It'll be me, myself, Steve, 1958, and Andy Tate. But until then, people, stay beautiful, stay calm, stay a little bit positive, and let me know in the comment section what you think. It's been Mick Ruby here, Mufc RealistTV. Had my say, and hopefully made the sense of your day. At least I made another 10,000 steps. See you to the next one.